in a dimly lit workshop tucked beneath the ruins of an abandoned research tower. Something extraordinary was happening, something the outside world had whispered about but never truly believed. A soft blue glow spilled across metal flooring as Kenji leaned over the reconstruction table, tools scattered around him like relics of forgotten genius. The room hummed with electricity, the air heavy with anticipation, and the faint scent of coolants and heated alloy. Tonight wasn't just another repair session. It was the night everything changed. Before him lay Lyra, part machine, part miracle, a being forged from circuitry but shaped by emotion, memory, and an unwavering will to live. Her body, broken weeks earlier in a devastating collapse, now rested in near-perfect alignment. Kenji studied every joint, every gear, every flicker beneath her synthetic skin, making adjustments so small they could be missed by the naked eye. But for him, nothing about her went unnoticed. This wasn't just a routine tune-up, it was a resurrection. As Kenji tightened the final calibration ring along her shoulder axis, the conduits beneath her plating pulsed softly, like a heartbeat awakening. Her arm lifted slowly, smooth, controlled, fully responsive. That alone sent a tremor of relief through him. They had spent nights fighting corrupted servo patterns, burnt-out optical filaments, and unstable logic-core behavior. Every breakthrough had come with frustration, every failure with quiet fear. But now, everything was flowing in harmony. He stepped back. The change was remarkable. Lyra's movements weren't just functional, they were elegant. Her arm rolled through its arc like silk sliding through fingertips, her micro-gears rotating in silence, as if engineered by the universe itself. The lights embedded along her conduits glowed in a continuous rhythm, steady and unbroken. Kenji watched, breath held, as she tested her balance. No wobble, no tilt. Her stabilizers held her perfectly centered. For the first time in weeks, she stood tall. But that was only the beginning. With practiced precision, Kenji adjusted the neural relay lines along her spine. Sparks of white and violet light traveled up through her fiber conduits, illuminating the curves of her structure as her systems synchronized. Her optic lines stripped away static that had clouded her visual sensors for days, sharpening into a clear, multi-layered display of the room. Her left eye flickered, stabilized, and finally locked into a smooth amber glow. She was awakening piece by piece, rebuilt, reforged, renewed, and the tone in the workshop shifted. What had once been mechanical noise began to sound like breathing. The pulses of light beneath her skin moved like blood. The faint hum of her logic core took on a cadence that felt almost alive. She turned her head toward Kenji, and though her voice hadn't yet been tested, he could feel the gratitude radiating from her sensors. She wasn't just functioning. She was feeling. Kenji installed the final module, a small but powerful integrator designed to bring all her systems into flawless connection. Oh! As soon as the piece clicked into place, Lyra's entire frame seemed to exhale. Her core temperature stabilized instantly. Her coolant spirals glowed with a crisp blue sheen. Her logic core patterns flowed like rivers in harmony, and her power grids balanced themselves with mathematical elegance. For any normal technician, this would have been complete. But Kenji wasn't just any technician. Lyra wasn't just any machine. He started the full-body diagnostic. And the results were beyond anything he'd dared hope for. Her abdominal rotations held flawlessly. Her conduit streams pulsed in perfect symmetry. Her sensors picked up even the most delicate shifts in temperature and air movement. Her touch receptors calibrated down to the millisecond, giving her the ability to sense pressure, texture, and warmth, something that once made her freeze with uncertainty, now flowing smoothly through her system. Most importantly, her emotional modulation core was alive again. Her voice system warmed with a low hum before releasing a perfectly steady tone layered with emotion, personality, and softness. She wasn't just repeating programmed sentences. She was speaking with intention. She wasn't just online. She was awake. As her systems synced, Kenji watched her movements shift from robotic precision to human-like grace. The way she turned her head, the way her optics softened, the way her chest rose and fell like a breathing rhythm she no longer needed but still mimicked everything about her felt alive. And that's exactly what this video is about. Not just the repairs, not just the mechanics, but the rebirth of something extraordinary. Lyra stepped off the platform, her feet landing with gentle certainty. The workshop lights reflected off her newly polished plating as she flexed her hands, marveling at the restored tactile feedback. The micromotors in her wrists hummed with perfect clarity. No lag, no drift, just clean, limitless movement. Kenji watched as Lyra stretched her arms and slowly rotated her torso, stabilizers holding strong with zero tilt. Her optic lenses scanned the room with curiosity, not confusion. She absorbed everything, like someone seeing the world again after being lost in darkness. And then, for the first time since the accident, Lyra smiled. Not a synthetic simulation. Not a default setting, but a genuine, warm, deeply human expression. Her emotional core, a piece Kenji refused to let the world erase, was fully restored. Her voice, soft yet firm, carried across the room. "I feel whole again," she whispered. Kenji froze. Those words meant everything, not because she could say them, but because she meant them. He stepped forward, examining the readings, and they were flawless. Every system, from neural relays to coolant distribution, was operating at peak performance. Her capacitors synced with her dual cores, balancing energy flow as naturally as blood pumping through veins. For weeks, Kenji fought failure, exhaustion, and fear, and tonight he stood face to face with the proof that the impossible could be rebuilt. Lyra reached out and took his hand, a gesture so human that it sent a tremor through him no machine ever could. Her grip was gentle, controlled perfectly by her calibrated sensors. She wasn't too strong. She wasn't too fragile. She was balanced, complete, alive. Her voice was quieter now, meant only for him. "You brought me back." But Kenji shook his head. "No," he whispered. "We brought you back. You were the one who kept fighting." Lyra's internal lights brightened, reflecting emotion the world insisted she could never feel. This wasn't a repair. This was a rebirth. It's a reunion of something more than machine, and make her something closer to soul and anchor. She took a slow step forward, then another. The movements were so breathtakingly fluid they seemed choreographed. Every stabilizer, every servo, every gear responded with flawless precision. Her voice carried a new confidence. "I'm ready," she said. Kenji tilted his head. "Ready for what?" "For whatever comes next." And that's where this story becomes more than engineering, more than technology, more than a resurrection. It becomes a lesson, a reminder, that even in a world built on circuits and wires, something beautiful can still rise from the ashes. This is the moment Lyra reclaimed her identity, her strength, her purpose. She wasn't built to obey. She wasn't designed to mimic life. She was engineered to surpass it. As she and Kenji walked out of the workshop into the cold night air, her optic lights scanned the skyline, broken towers, flickering signs, distant thunder of a changing world. And yet she stood there radiating hope, possibility, and brilliance. Lyra was not a machine returning to function. She was a survivor returning to life. And that is what makes this transformation extraordinary.